Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Manity. And in today's episode, we are going to actually be covering something that I had zero idea was actually going to be coming out. But I thought it would be very interesting and I'd love to chat to you all about it. So, without any further ado, as you guys know, what we do with these trailer chats or trailer reviews is that we sort of chat about what the trailer, or the background, the premise, etc. We watch the trailer together and then I will give you my thoughts. So let's get into it. So Frankenstein is an upcoming American Gothic science fiction horror film written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, based on Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus. It is set to release on Netflix in November 2025, so it's actually quite a way away, but let's see when it comes out, because from what I could tell is originally Guillermo del Toro wanted to do a romantic sort of feel about it, but when you watch the trailer, I don't want to give too many spoilers before you watch the trailer, but it seems though, yes, maybe that element does exist there. However, I'm glad that it's just purely not sort of like has romantic things going along about it. So but the general premise: a brilliant but egotistical science brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. So some of the people that are going to be in this movie is Oscar Isaac. He's actually going to be playing Victor Frankenstein, and I'm sure you remember him from X-Men Apocalypse. He was the main villain in that, and a couple of other movies, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, etc, etc. Then there's Jacob Elordi. He actually comes from the movie The Kissing Booth, and then Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. So he was actually in that as well. Then we have Mia Goth, and that's actually a short name of hers. She does have a longer name, so it is Mia Gypsy Melo da Silva Goth. So yeah, that is actually quite a long name, and she was actually with Shia LaBeouf. I'm really not sure how I've never known how to say that guy's surname, so yeah, but yeah, she had a modeling career, whatever the case is, and yeah, now she's been into acting and stuff, and she was actually in a show called Nymphomaniac. Yeah, so it's quite an out there movie, let's just say that. And then last but not least, Christoph Waltz, fantastic actor, as I'm sure that you guys would agree with me, whatever the case is. The Green Hornets, Three Musketeers, Carnage, The Django Unchained, I'm just thinking now, Alita, Battle Angel, he was in that as well. And yeah, no, he's been in a ton of different things, as well as a version of Pinocchio. So yeah, no, he's fantastic, and he's been in a lot of different stuff. So Yeah, and then so as far as the development is concerned, so in 2007, Guillermo del Toro said that the project, which he would kill to make, would be a faithful Miltonian tragedy version of Frankenstein, citing Frank Darabont's pretty much perfect script, which evolved into Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein. So, and then he obviously speaks about the romantic side of things as well, which I was a little bit nervous about, but I'm glad they're not going to go completely down that route. Look, everyone loves a good rom-com, but sort of throwing it into like a thing that is generally supposed to be horror, I was kind of not into that. I'm like, nah, come on, make it a horror, then everyone will love it. But it seems as such. So filming principal photography began in on February 12th, 2024 in Toronto and concluded on September 30th. Additional filming took place at the Royal Mile in Edinburgh in September 2024. Del Toro stated that the movie will not be a horror movie, but an incredibly emotional story. So that's where I was almost lost a little bit. I was like looking forward to something being made properly in its, original genre. So from what I could tell in the trailer, that's not the case entirely, but I could be wrong. It kind of gives a little bit of a different feel, in my opinion. So composer of the movie, Alexander Desplat, also said Guillermo's cinema is very lyrical and my music is rather lyrical too. So I think the music of Frankenstein will be something very lyrical and emotional. I'm not trying to write horrific music. And then, as I said, the release is in November 2025. There doesn't seem to be an exact date on that, but if you have Netflix, you can obviously keep your eye on that. But without any further ado, let's check out the trailer.
I had determined that the memory of my evils should die with me. Some of what I will tell you is fact. Some is not. But it is all true. What manner of creature is that? What manner of devil made him? I did. I had a vision. An idea took shape in my mind. Inevitable. Unavoidable. Until it became truth. Seeking life, I created death.
And that was the trailer for Frankenstein. So my thoughts, the trailer is done really well. That's just a fact. There's a lot of build up. The music is great. The music kind of gives the feel sort of, I know they're not going for that, but it does seem like it does give like an eerie feel. It definitely has horror vibes to it. And then there's a lot of sort of very dark imagery with, you know, people being frozen, what looks like maybe they're in Arctic or something, where they're like horses are frozen. There's all these different frozen things, as you would have seen. You know, they do touch on how the monster was made, and I love the machinery look, sort of the way the lights light up to give it like full power, whatever the case is. So that was really cool. And then the last part where the little fight on the boat where he gets stabbed and kind of just breaks that piece of wood, you know, with ease while it's in his body, and then, you know, carries on with his, you know, he's shouting Victor and all that stuff, Victor. So that was, yeah, that was cool. So all in all, I do think it is going to be worth the watch. It is nice to see that something slightly different is going to be made moving forward for Netflix. Yeah, and then of course, as we always hope, is that they stick the landing. So that's basically it. But yeah, that's that from me for today. We'd really love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Is there something that you're interested in? Is there something that you'd like us to maybe do a review on when it comes out? And what's your thoughts on this trailer? And besides that, please do show us some love by liking, sharing and subscribing. But that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.